I didn't move to Lake Alder to start a war. I moved for peace. After selling my tech startup, I bought a modest lakefront property tucked between towering pines with private water access, a small dock, and a view that money can't buy. It wasn't the biggest house on the shoreline, not by a long shot. The real monsters were further up the ridge, multi-million-dollar mansions with floor-to-ceiling glass, infinity pools, and the kind of neighbors who wore polos like armor. I didn't care. I kept to myself, I paid my taxes, and I kept my boat and dock well maintained, as they had been since the 1970s, when this lot was originally parceled out with legal deeded lake access. But that didn't matter to the Alder Shores HOA. The trouble started last summer, after a few board members from the HOA, led by a guy named Brad Whitaker, purchased a stretch of land between my home and the waterline. Brad was everything you'd expect. Slick hair, real estate smile, and the subtle charm of a weasel in designer loafers. He sent me a letter 2 days later. Dear Sir, we regret to inform you that your lake access path now runs through Alder Shores common property. Please cease all access immediately. Unauthorized use will be considered trespassing. I laughed. Then I sent back a copy of my 1978 property deed, which clearly outlined a perpetual easement that ran right through their new parcel. They ignored it. Next week, they bulldozed my path, ripped out my dock, and put up a metal sign. Private, HOA members only. Trespassers will be prosecuted. I called a lawyer. He confirmed my deed was airtight, but litigation could take months, maybe years. Meanwhile, my boat sat grounded, and my property value dropped by $300,000 overnight because, according to every real estate site, I no longer had direct lake access. So I did what any self-respecting engineer-turned-millionaire would do. I went nuclear. First, I pulled the GIS maps, county records, soil surveys, everything. I found a quiet legal loophole. The Alder Shores HOA had illegally altered the shoreline without the proper environmental impact permits. Worse, their new community dock was partially constructed over a protected wetland. Second, I acquired a 1.3-acre strip of waterfront land just east of their property. It cost me $65,000 and used to be a rundown fishing lot. I restored the shack on it, not to live in, but to register it as a commercial rental under local zoning law. Then came the kicker. I partnered with a small nonprofit that specializes in youth water sports therapy. Within a week, I filed permits and approvals for a public kayak launch, kids paddleboarding camp, and low-income outdoor education hub, right next door to Alder Shores. And all of it perfectly legal. By law, the HOA couldn't object. Public educational use was protected and even encouraged by county development codes. The reaction was instant. Residents woke up to banners reading, "Free kayaking lessons for local kids," starting 7 a.m. The parking lot was filled with old vans, energetic volunteers, and laughing children. But the real blow came a week later. Local news covered the launch as a heartwarming story of accessible outdoor recreation. The HOA board lost it. Brad confronted me at my gate, red-faced, demanding I shut it down. I handed him a printed copy of the county's official approval, then smiled. Oh, and by the way, your entire shoreline dock system? It's 11 feet into restricted wetland. I filed an anonymous tip with the EPA this morning. 2 weeks later, Alder Shores HOA was hit with a $1.8 million fine for illegal shoreline alteration. Their dock system was ordered dismantled. Real estate websites updated overnight. Notice: property has ongoing litigation, shoreline access uncertain. By the end of the quarter, 6 luxury homes went off the market. Agents couldn't sell. 3 buyers backed out mid-closing. I spoke with a broker friend. Estimated property values across the HOA dropped over $12 million collectively. Meanwhile, I got my lake access back. County court sided with my deed. The HOA was forced to rebuild my dock and repay my legal fees. My home appraised even higher than before. Brad? He resigned from the board and moved to Arizona. I didn't start this, but they messed with the wrong guy. Next time someone tells you HOAs can't be beaten, just smile, shake their hand, and start drawing the blueprints.